But the thing about that is, I would like to there be attributes like, okay, this guy's really good at road courses, or this guy's really good at this. And I remember hearing something that, like, teams in, NASCAR teams and all that were fine with, this may have changed, I don't know the legality of it all. But apparently it was like fake driver, that's why you see it in like NASCAR 6 and all those EA NASCAR games where when a real driver retired, they'd be replaced by a fake driver. It would be cool if, with you, when you start out, like, say, like in NASCAR Heat 3, you start out in late models, like K&N West or something like that. You start out in the K&N series. What if, with you, they made all the drivers in the K&N fake drivers, and those drivers, and of course they had fake drivers for some fake teams in the upper series too, like, smaller teams. You could have, not only will you be moving up and around in the series, because I feel like it's also important to make it where you're not just, another thing that, something that I always kind of hated was how, in like Madden and NFL, like Madden 07's Superstar mode, the like career mode for you as a player, you could kind of do whatever. You didn't have to be a superstar. The idea was to be a superstar and to become a Hall of Famer, but you could just be like a general kind of serviceable player for 12 seasons, and that'd be it. You weren't pushed and forced and talked about and to be this superstar. But that's the thing that NBA 2K's player career modes do, where they're always constantly saying, "Oh, you're a star. You gotta be a star. You gotta be a star." And some other people were like, "Well, what if I just want to be a role player? And why in God's name would you want to do that?" Well, it's a different way to play the game. It's a different way to experience. It's a different experience than just being pushed as a star. So I'd like that to be kind of a thing too in this fictional NASCAR Heat 3 that is in no way going to be like this, but it's fun to think about.
You're listening to Crash FM. The weather you guys here in the Riviera
and have like these fake drivers, because this is important to have fake drivers. Have these fake drivers that are coming up at the same time as you, and have them move up or down throughout the many years of your career, and have drivers retire, like have Jimmy Johnson retire by 2020 and then get replaced by this fake cup driver that was impressive enough to replace him. Now I don't know how they do it. Maybe like NCAA football 14 had a thing where all coaches had a shit. I got fucking turned to the wall. They had this thing where it's like a meter where it said, and it was for the players, coach as well, but all coaches had this like job stability rating. Kind of do that with, and you also could look at their contract for how many wins the school expected the coaches to win each year over their contract. So like say the contract for the 48 car would be, you need this many top 10s, or like have like minor goals, like you need this many top 10s, this many top 5s, this many wins. We expect these, and you need to make it this far into the chase playoffs, whatever the fuck you want to call them. And I think that would be, something amazing, but I don't know if it'd be hard to do, 'cause there's a lot of variables going on there, but it's not like 704 is a big company, so I don't know if they have the resources to do such things, but this is this is just spitballing ideas here. This is my kind of NASCAR game that I would want. And on top of, this contract stuff and all of this, and drivers retiring and moving around and all this, each year introduce some randomly generated drivers. I'm just rambling, not paying attention to the game. I was playing the game subconsciously at this point. Introduce new drivers in the lower series each year, and kind of have a stat card that says, okay, they're this age. Maybe don't have, they don't have to go as far as having their birthday or anything like that. But have a thing that's like randomly generated. Have like a little randomly generated photo, like the fake players in Madden. Kind of have that, where every fake driver kind of looks different from each other and all that. And have them be male, female, whatever. Even have them be from other countries other than America. Have their home state or their home country, whatever. And you know, just kind of randomly generate that. They have their little stat card that's broken down by series. So you know they start out in K&N, and if they do good, they can get interest from. I'm gonna run smack into that fucking wall, ain't I? Nope. Ah, I win. Does it say how many I need? No, it does not. I have no idea how many takedowns I need. I've been rambling about this for about, I feel like, 50 years. But the oh god, I had to pay it. Okay, I had to pay attention there. But you know, have that, and then you know, so we get some detail about the drivers, and then you know maybe incorporate the ratings, maybe incorporate driver roles or you know abilities, kind of like how the game Motorsport Manager does it, where yeah, I saw that coming. The game Motorsport Manager, where all drivers have, you know, they all have their attribute ratings on a scale of 1, on a scale of 0 to 20 in certain areas, like I haven't played the game in so long, but they have, you know, your base things like their cornering or their my nose trying to bleed right now? No, it's just running. Okay, thank God. That'd be an awkward moment to get a nosebleed. Have like, you know, their rating, cornering, whatever, or make it simpler. Just have like, you know, or how good are they at super speedways, how good are they at road course, how good are they at this track, how good are they at that track. You know, the track archetypes, and then have, you know, maybe something like how intimidating are they to other drivers? How easy is it for them to make other drivers make mistakes or some shit like that? I don't know. Probably not actually. That probably work good in a Motorsport Manager type game, but in this game, probably not. You know, how good are they at this? How good are they at that kind of shit? You know, and make each driver different. So you have those guys that are really good at super speedways. You have those guys that are, you know, good at the intermediate tracks. Guys are good at the short tracks. You have the road course ringer guys. All that kind of stuff. You have all this stuff. And on top, and the last thing, other than making the drivers, you know, have all these, you know, uniqueness about them, having, I mean, on top of that, in most brands, they also have drivers have roles or characteristics, like a driver could be, in Motorsport Manager speaking, not in this fake NASCAR game that I'm thinking of right now, where this guy, this driver struggles in the wet weather. But this driver over here, he has a role, he has a characteristic that makes him really good in the wet weather, more, you know, better than a normal driver. You know, so you have things like that. And you can, you know, do things like that to just make everybody unique, everybody have their own little, you know, set kind of characteristics and all that, and they can slap my mic, and they can get these characteristics, and you know sometimes they can lose them, sometimes they, you know, obviously there had to be like a criteria for what makes a driver gain a characteristic and or what makes a driver lose one. Jesus Christ, the entire field just crashed. Oh my God, that car just everyone just crashed. Literally everyone, I think. Yeah, except for the leader, of course, because why the fuck not? Oh God, I didn't know it was a turn because I had some asshole in front of me. But, you know, and then the last thing, the very last thing, other than making sure the drivers are, you know, have their own characteristics, because that would be great enough. You know, just that would be, you know, good enough to kind of make the world feel real, like you're... That guy just ran into a wall, but he was not crashed out. Okay, cool, whatever. I kind of like this track. I remember it well. But another thing you could do is have kind of like a shop setting. Like if you're in K&N, maybe the career menu for like the schedule and all that is like your car being worked on in a small shop. And you know, as you go up through the ranks. Or maybe it's based on teams. Because like maybe if you're driving for a Cup Drivers K&N Series team, the shop's gonna probably be bigger than most. So maybe it's based on like, you know, what series you're in and also what you know, what caliber of team you're with changes it too. But obviously, a fight like a top caliber, you know, 4th tier series team's shop is not going to be the same kind of shop as a you know, a top tier, you know, tier 1 series teams. You know, I mean, it's same, but you know, the details. You get what I mean. Double check, make sure everything's recording. You son of a bitch. You other son of a bitch. You double son of a bitch. Oh God. Well. Another thing, other than that, you know, set that kind of. Ooh. God damn, that was close. You know, set that kind of that atmosphere of, you know, being a driver, you know, being at the shop and all that. Maybe have, you know, later on you be able to purchase your own team and hire your own drivers, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, that'd be great to have as well. You know, you can scout drivers and stuff like that. Sorry, my hair's in my face. You know, you scout the young drivers. They're up and coming now that, you know, obviously you'd be established at this point if you own a team. And then, you know, you can hire these up and comers. So then it has like a little bit of a magic thing to it as well. Not only is the racing, you know, you being a driver thing. And then the last thing would be like have some sort of news feed or thing. Don't tell me I just got eliminated because I fucking slammed through a car. Okay, I didn't. Good. Have some sort of like news feed type deal going on, like a magazine, like a NASCAR magazine. Like it doesn't have to be a real one, like a fictional one, whatever. Like you can sift through that has like, you know, some like kind of like how if you ever play NRF 3, whenever you win a race, there's like a little. If you ever run a race or finish a race, whatever, when you know quit out of the race, it shows like a little picture of the winner's car and like a victory lane type little thing. Have something like that, except, you know, have it be like generated in game with the in-game car and all that, so it looks, you know, it looks good with the driver on there or whatever. Just, you know. And, you know, have like articles like, oh yeah, this guy's doing really good this year for this team that isn't, you know, usually that good. Just things that kind of make it feel. I really need to learn how to fucking steer.
Hey racers,
okay, good. He's so far behind, doesn't matter.
But
you know, stuff like that. Just atmosphere is a big deal to me. And all of that I've talked about for the last probably 20 or 30 minutes, I don't even know, would really make a racing atmosphere, you know, good and cool. You know, maybe have like also things where it's like talks about, oh, these drivers have gotten into it, or, you know, whatever. But I mean, that's a lot of programming nonsense. 20? What the fuck? Holy shit, Batman! What the hell? Is this part? This must be the guy that didn't get wrecked at the very beginning. Holy shit! No, I'm done. Fuck that. I'm not doing that again. I missed a phone call from a number from some goddamn where. But yeah, I think that's mucho importante when it comes to game, when it comes to any kind of sports-esque game. Because atmosphere is just important. You want to put people in that world and make them feel like they're in, you know, this world. That's the important thing. Same thing with any kind of game. You want to make people feel like they're in, you know, like for Call of Duty, you want to make people feel like they're a soldier in World War II. Anything like that. So it's especially important in sports games to me. What the hell Striker's talking about now? That bus disappeared. I don't know if anybody saw that. That bus disappeared. Or it teleported back there. One or the other. Ow. Dick. But yeah. So that's my kind of take on what would make a really cool racing game for me. I mean, I've never really had a. It seems don't have a whole lot of friends IRL that like racing. You know, I don't get to talk about that. You know, that kind of thing. Because people, I don't have friends that play racing, play NASCAR games or anything like that. I don't have people that I talk to on Discord, all that shit. Dude. So I've never really got the voice of opinion. So that's about, 15 years of me thinking about what would be cool to have in a racing game. And even back when I was a kid, the atmosphere was important. Like how cool would it be to, do this, or how cool would it be if there were announcers talking about, how you did this or how you did that or how you wanted this track, or how you wanted this track. Not a perfect lap that time, that's for damn sure. So, I mean, that's just me. Other people might think that's pointless. Obviously, you need to have a good base game. Although that said, I would take all that shit if the racing physics were the exact same as NASCAR 03. It would not bother me a bit. But I don't know if that's ever gonna. I don't know if any of that stuff ever gonna make it into a game, even like any of that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someday. It's gonna be a fucking while. Maybe long after I'm gone from this world. But that kind of stuff would be really cool. I hope that someday a NASCAR game can capture, or even any kind of racing game. Another idea I had was just make a fake series, like kind of like how Motorsport Manager made. It's a Motorsport Manager is a knockoff of, or it's a fictional version of Formula 1 and GP2 and GP3 and Le Mans and all that. Like, it's fictional versions of that, but the teams are kind of slightly based. The team's drivers are slightly based on the real life ones. Do a NASCAR game like that. Where you're a driver and, there's a Hendrick-esque team that's like, a 4-car Chevy team and Cup and, yada, 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 yada. And, maybe get actual real sponsors in on it, but, just change stuff up so where it's not, it's not, so you don't have to pay copyright things, essentially. I mean, you'd have to for sponsors. But, get like, some real sponsors in there. Maybe instead of Lowe's, the car is supposed to be the 48, which maybe be renumbered to like 84 or some shit. I don't know. It'd be like sponsored by Home Depot or, DeWalt or something like that. But, just make a fictional type world so you can move drivers anywhere you want and not have to worry about anything. So you can move like this guy over here that's been at this team for 10 years. Oh, he's moving to this team now. Things like that. Another thing that was always kind of thought about was like, wouldn't it be cool if you could move sponsors too? But I don't think that's another thing. All this stuff would take so much work to, so many variables. Like, okay, well, this driver's going here, but he's taking a sponsor with him. So now the game has to know to make the car he went to have this sponsor now. And that would just be so much shit to do. I didn't even know this was a GP. I've been rambling so long. Whew.
Race GP rules aren't too complex. First place wins the most
it's just a lot of stuff that would be really cool to have. But I mean, that's a lot of big ideas that would be really hard to put into a game. But maybe someday, when I'm like 85 years old and essentially a potato, maybe someone somewhere will make such things. I won't be able to enjoy it, but I will be happy to know that such a thing exists. I really do hate how Burnout doesn't exist anymore. This game is so fun. Well, I don't know what happened. I like that look behind me and all I see is 4th place. Don't you dare do it, you son of a bitch. Oh, look at that shit. Barely. I should have tried to make my car sit in the middle of the road so they would have to fucking do some evasive maneuvers to avoid it. Okay. I kind of tired myself out with that little rambling thing right there. That's the most thought-provoking moment I've ever had in all of recording anything. Also, I found that there's like a Dakar. Dakar being the big rally, off-road rally, not rally, like, I don't even know what you fucking call it, but there's a game for that. What the hell? It's like, what? This is crazy. People, they making games, they get this kind of game? Ah, fuck you. Fuck you and the small red car. That's the asshole that turned in front of me in America. Son of a bitch. And their game I'm probably going to do on this channel, a game I'm interested in, and it's kind of weird because I'm not interested in the actual, I'm vaguely interested, is Monster Energy Motocross, Monster Energy Supercross? Motocross? I don't know. There's a motocross game coming out in February that I've got a big interest in because it just looks really good. And I played MX versus ATV. I think was a one that I played, the last one kind of motocross game that I played, and that had kind of it was like one that had like a kind of a proper career mode. And this has a proper career mode. And like I said, I don't watch motocross just because I don't have satellite, but I don't keep up with it. So, but it just interests me. It piqued my interest when I saw it. I was like, oh, hey, this looks really good. I like racing games, so I mean, I figured, why not, keep an eye out on it and see how it is. And that might be done on this channel as the non-NASCAR game at some point. It's gonna suck when I run out of racing games to play. I was gonna play Test Drive Even Destruction because I saw Kamikaze Games play that. What the hell is this guy doing? He's trying to get on the train, I guess. But the PS2 it's a little too expensive to just outright buy for Xbox, so that was a negative on that one. So I was like, well, I'll just get a PS2 emulator because Xbox emulators don't exist apparently. Or they're not very good. I just think they're not very good. I don't think they've figured out how to emulate the original Xbox very well. So I was like, oh, I'll get PSX2 or whatever the hell the best PlayStation 2 emulator is called. It's on the fucking computer over here. You bitch. You double bitch. Triple. I was trying to wreck him. It did not work though. That's horrifying. Look behind you and you see a bunch of fucking cars driving around. Menacingly. Where was I? Let me fucking back. Yeah, Test Drive Destruction. I was gonna play it, but the emulator, it just has a weird thing with the shadows, and I mean, maybe I'll do the work to figure. Apparently, there's a way to fix it, but it requires you to fiddle with some settings on your computer, I think. And I don't feel like doing that right now when I'm trying to do this stuff. Also, if you're wondering where the hell the NR 2003 stuff is, it's called me being really ambitious and wanting to make sure I have everything the way I want to do it, which is why it took a really long time for me to even get the first few races out for the races that are up for that. That's why it took me so long to get that stuff up, because I'm just incredibly ambitious about doing this. You know how I kept saying things about atmosphere and all that? Yeah. I'm trying to build an atmosphere around this world of, which kind of like how I said, it would be cool if they made that game that was kind of fictional NASCAR with fictional drivers and stuff like, and teams and stuff like that. That's kind of what I'm doing. It's like a weird parallel universe where none of the drivers we know, like Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, and all that, exist. You son of a bitch! Oh Jesus! Get out of here! Perfect lap, they say. Okay. But that's kind of what that is, and that's why it's taken a while to get back, because I was gonna try to bring it back a couple weeks ago, but I got sick, so I got delayed on that, and then now I'm. You get, you stupid fuck. And now I'm reworking some graphics for it that I'm still trying to fiddle with and make sure they look the way I want them to. So that's a big deal. And I guess I'm kind of a perfectionist, where if something doesn't look the way I want it to look, I I don't like it. I don't really settle for anything that you see that, any kind of graphic or... Son of a bitch. I didn't get it. He didn't get taken down for that? That's bullshit. Cheater. So anything like kind of like even the thumbnails for videos, if I don't like the way they look, I don't use them. I keep, fiddling with it till it looks okay. This looks good. Any kind of edit I put in a video is the same way, and that goes for any old stuff that I've made before on my older channel, TF and Duck. Any kind of edit any kind of thing like that I do, I try if it doesn't look the way I want it to look, it doesn't get used. Plain and simple. But that's kind of what's taking so long. I'm trying to make sure that everything looks the way, all these graphics for point standings and race results and all that shit. I'm trying to make sure that it looks exactly how I want it, and it looks good, and it looks right, so on and so forth. So, that's what they hold up there with. I know some people are probably waiting on that, because those videos got... My NR2003 stuff got way more views than, my career mode videos. But people seem to enjoy those. But my NR2003 stuff got quite a bit more views than these, but I'm just doing whatever I want. But the NR2003 thing is important to me, and it is coming back at some point, so it may be during the summer when it comes back, but it'll come back. It probably won't be that long, but I said I wanted to bring it back at the end of January. I don't know if I'm going to meet that deadline. But I will say this, I have run races. I haven't not been running races for those series, because I guess like up to race 11 in late models has been run, and race 9 in trucks has been run. So I have all like the point standings tallied up and all that shit. The only thing is I just haven't recorded, sat down and recorded the races and then, edited it and commentated over it and all that nonsense. I like that car. Kind of reminds me of like a Camaro. The nose of it does anyway. And I got the sports series. Yay. Oh joy. I get to drive faster cars now. That totally won't be detrimental to me. Won't cause me to wreck into things. I'm curious, is it going to rain again today? I would like it to rain again today, if that's at all possible. %70 chance at 12 p.m., which is about to happen in 4 minutes. So if it ain't raining in 4 minutes, I'm going to be severely pissed off. Yes, we know. This might be my favorite car so far of the three. Why do these cars have sponsorship on them? Is there like some corporate nonsense going on in the Burnout world?
Alright, this is the challenge.
Probably about to wrap this up here in a minute, because I'm getting I'm getting hungry. I haven't eaten properly today, so I'm probably gonna eat. So what is this? What is this? Go unlock special event postcard. Oh yay! My fucking favorite special event postcard.
Back again. You're listening. Thank you.
Special event postcard is the most boring thing ever. Okay. How about this? How about we go to the Far East?
So a burner buddy of
which I just called Asia,
my dad.
and we do the tuck down. I love that, because there are these little in this area. There are little tuk-tuks. If you don't know what tuk-tuk is, you'll see in a minute. These little tuk-tuks, I love them. But we'll do this, and then I'll end it off. And then this has been about 2 hours, so I got about 2 hours and 50-something minutes to sift through and hope that it's actually usable and good. I think this is pretty usable, because I actually talked about stuff in a manner that's intelligent and not just rambling about stupid bullshit. Make a choice. Which one do you want? Gold, bronze, or silver? I want the fucking gold, obviously. Don't touch the heart. Slide. Those are tuk-tuks. Are you fucking shitting me? Well, the guy tried to wreck into the intersection, but he was quickly stopped by some boxes. Fuck off, Crasher. Or whatever the fuck your name is. I've been recording about an hour and 50 minutes, so. That was not my intention, I swear to God. I didn't even know you could get two things at once, but I did. Shut the fuck up. I'm really upset right now. I don't need your bullshit. It's like sometimes when you drift, the car doesn't want to come out of the drift, so it kind of fucks you. Just get the gold that time. Alright, whatever. I think that times 2 is a ruse. It's times 4, however. Fuck you, tuk-tuk. Get the 4. Get the 4. No, 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 no. Come, turn back. Yes. There we go. All right, that's a gold for sure. Just wheels rolling on in. Yeah, that's a tuk-tuk. They use those in Asia, I believe. Like little taxi type things. I think a majority of them are just taxi-like things. But anyway, with that gold and these 2 new events that we've unlocked, which I'm sure are just new events in Asia, we're gonna call it a day. I'll probably record some Dirt Daytona later, but I'm just glad to get a good bit, almost 3 hours worth of this done. So that's nice. I always like getting stuff done in bulk. What do we got? My crash made the headline news. Asshole seen driving car fucking into intersection with small vehicles in it and blowing the fuck up for some reason. Another asshole was seen putting a ramp in the middle of an intersection. We don't know why. We can't. The police department can't comment at this moment whether or not guy that put ramp there and guy that drove car into intersection are the same person. Probably not. They're both dead. Anyway, see you guys.
So good at wasting